I would never judge a guy for what he desires in a romantic partner. But if he wants to find what he's looking for in a romantic partner, then he first has to own up to wanting that very thing. Hi, my name is Patrick Wu. I'm the author of the book, The Art of Wooing, and on this channel, I help you get into a relationship with the lover of your dreams so that you can escape the dating game altogether. One of the big questions I often hear from a lot of my older established clients is whenever I'm talking to them about what they're looking for in a romantic partner, they'll tell me something along the lines of, I'm looking for someone who is a lot younger than I am. And so for them, it's oftentimes difficult for them to even tell me this very fact, because for them, they kind of feel even slightly ashamed of this fact. They don't want to be the guy who is that older, creepy guy, but that's what they want. And so whenever I dive a little deeper into why they want that younger woman in their late 20s or early 30s, they'll often tell me something like, I feel kind of old and I want to date someone younger because if I was dating someone younger, then I would feel more youthful myself because I don't feel very youthful. Or maybe they still want to have children and create a legacy. So he believes that in order to date someone who will have children, they have to be of that younger age. So for them, that's what they want, and I can't ever judge them for that because that's what they want. And if that's you, then I'm gonna do my best to help you get what it is that you want. So one of the biggest things that you have to first understand is that you have to own up to what you desire. So in my first stage of the Art of Wooing, this is all about being clear with who you are and where you're going. And one of the biggest things is that a lot of people feel a lot of shame around their desires. And so because they feel shame, how do you think they're gonna talk to their ideal type when she's right in front of him and he's feeling even shameful for liking it? Well, he might come off as a little bit off, right? So for you, the biggest thing is to own up to your desire. Hey, this is what I want. This is what I like. I'm looking for someone that is younger than I am, who makes me feel more youthful. And just by owning up to that fact, then you're gonna be at least at ease when you're in a connection with someone. And number two, you have to hang out in places where someone like her is going to see you or you're able to see her. So in my fourth stage in the Art of Wooing process called the visibility switch, the whole goal of this part is to actually put yourself out there so that she can see you fully. And so you have to hang out in places in order to have that interaction. Now, one thing that I've noticed when an older guy talks to a younger woman is that the older guy tries to act like that younger woman. He tries to bring his energy completely down to her. So he's trying to become that old hip guy. And women have experienced being hit on so many times that they can sense whenever a guy is themselves or they're not themselves. And when a guy is completely kind of not themselves because they feel like they should act younger than how they are, then she can kind of feel that, and it's no wonder why she would reject him. So if you're an older guy trying to date a younger woman, you have to instead be that older authority figure instead. You have to be at your natural energy. He has to tell her, yeah, I do like someone who has a more youthful spirit. So one of my recent clients and I, we did a training together in Las Vegas. And he revealed to me that one of the things that he really wants is to start dating someone a lot younger than him. And one of the first things that he told me was his fear of his colleagues judging him. You see, he's afraid of his colleagues judging him for wanting to date someone a lot younger, because one of his colleagues even mentioned in the past, why would you be dating someone so young? And even just getting that comment from one of his coworkers, he's a little fearful, or he's afraid of being judged by other people. And so after a little while, we talked about how he doesn't have to be shameful for what he desires, because what he desires is what he desires. He became okay with the fact that this is what he wants. And so the next step is now to start taking the actions to talk to his type of women. And so when we were in Las Vegas, we started talking to his type of women, and I was his wingman, and I would introduce him to his type of women. And after a while of doing this, there was one particular woman that was really interested in him. And they actually texted and met up to meet up at this bar. And I remember helping my client find the bar where that girl was meeting him for a drink. And so when we got to that bar, I remember she was like with a guy and she was talking to this guy, having a drink with him. And I remember seeing my client who was a little bit like why is he talking to her? And in those next moments, he went from a guy who was like kind of timid about like, yeah, I'm this really cool hip guy, to I'm an older guy and I like you. And I remember him walking up to her like this more authoritative older gentleman. And he went up to her and said, hey, I'm here. That guy that was talking to her all of a sudden kind of got a little bit like scared because he had just met her and he was afraid. Like, oh, this guy is that girl's boyfriend. And I remember he wanted to get her phone number because he had his phone out. And he just kind of said to my client, like, oh, I'm sorry. And he kind of put his phone away while him and that girl that he was interested in just started making out right at the bar. And I'm like, whoa, that was different. That was interesting. And after that moment, I think he started to see, yeah, I'm an older guy, but I like younger women in their late 20s or their early 30s. And I'm okay with that. I can date that. I can go after that type because that's my type. And for him, he started destroying the beliefs that just because he's an older guy doesn't mean that he can't date younger women. And so to reiterate the point, do not be ashamed of what you desire, because what you desire is what you desire. And if it is something that you really want to pursue, then you have to take the actions towards your desire. I hope that helps you. Good luck, happy wooing. And if you want to see my next video right over here that can help you do that, then go ahead and click right over here.